Hi, and welcome back here at episode 64. We're going to be back on the police special here today. Going to start and clean up our wiring underneath the seat here. What this is the extension wire from our OEM wire into these little resistor packs. What they do is they change the voltage, or excuse me, our amperage, so our rear LEDs will actually blink. Without them, it blinks too fast, and the light stays on because it's blinking so fast you can't tell that it's actually blinking. So I'm going to clean it up and tie it and use some two-sided tape to help hold it down. The seat clears there. This is where the rider's backrest bracket would go. So I'm not too worried about that area at all. So I'm going to get the camera set up. I don't really have a game plan. I'm going to start to work on something, but I don't have a game plan per se, so I need to come up with one, but we'll do that as we get working here. So just bear with me, thanks. So here we are back now. Like I say, I don't really have an idea. Well, I have an idea, but I don't really have a method that I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be trying to clean it up the best I can. It's not a big mess, but it's one that has to be taken care of. Just seeing if I got any smaller tie wraps. You know, a tie wrap's a tie wrap, but if I could have some smaller ones, I'd save the bigger ones, obviously, for different jobs. Doesn't look like I've got any smaller ones. Because they're under the seat, I really don't care if they're clear or white or black. That part doesn't bother me. So we'll get started here on it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the wires and just trying to keep them clean but shorten them up. So I like to use tie wraps, and don't bend them too much. You'll notice that wires kind of will naturally bend certain ways. If I can keep that the way they naturally want to bend, then I know I'm not going to pinch or break the wire inside. Sometimes if you bend them on too big of an angle, it obviously just doesn't end well for the wires themselves. I want this one to be right in this little gap there. And then I just cut the tie wrap off. Again, I may have to modify and do it up 3-4 times. I'm not sure yet. I'm just kind of picking and choosing a path or a route I want at this moment for no rhyme or reason, except for it looks like that's going to work for me. Could I shorten these wires, resolder them? Oh, I definitely could. Would I? I'm not sure. If I ever sell this bike or I change my taillights, I may want the wires still to be as long as they were. So leaving the wires a little bit longer and then myself just tying them up like this gives me a bit more versatility for further down the road if I ever was going to change the look of the bike or the lighting or the wiring. So I think this is the route I do want to go, the way I'm going right now. But yes, could always just cut and resolder and shorten them. I could cut and resolder them and lengthen them, but just having a drink of water there. So my game plan is these two resistors go right in there. I can tie this plug over top of them It's could turn these sideways even in there, which might be the ideal way to go, is turn those sideways like that. And then bring this plug through and under into this region. Yeah, I'm liking that. Bring that over and like that. So that's what I'm going to do with that part. So I'm going to get a rag, clean this off here so my two-sided tape can stick. I used to be able to get like some foam two-sided tape, almost like if you install a tonneau cover or a topper on a pickup truck. I couldn't find any, so this is a little thinner than what I really want, but it's all I could find. So and it's not even that sticky. Not even that sticky. There's some motorbikes out there now driving around. Still early. Street sweepers haven't really been by to clean the winter salt off yet. But, you know, to each their own. Everyone's welcome to do their own thing. I mean, we do pay a lot of money for insurance in Ontario, Canada for motorcycles. For a vehicle we can't use all year round. But like I say, I'm not sure if I will be riding. I'll talk more about that in another sport video. But nonetheless. So this is two-sided tape. So what I've done is I've stuck the tape onto the mounting bracket, and now I'm going to peel off the white tape, and then I'll stick a resistor pack on the back part of that tape. Of course, that tape is so sticky, I should have peeled a little bit off before I stuck it on there. I'm going to use a little razor blade and see if I can peel it up. So this is so thin, not used to how thin it is. I'm used to the foam tape, which I liked because it kind of also cushioned whatever I put it on. Yeah, like I'm gonna peel that right up. Okay, so that one I've got now. I say it's not that sticky. This is called Gorilla tape. Gorilla two-sided tape, like Gorilla Glue, or Gorilla patch kits for camping trailers. Or, you know, they're a good product, but I just find that this tape, it's brand new, it's not sticking that good. The least fun part of building anything, whether it's a hot rod or you know, customizing anything, is doing wiring. Tedious, long. When I built my big wheel, which was a Harley Road Glide 26-inch big wheel, after the neck was welded, I had to change a bunch of wiring, lengthen a bunch of wiring. So I'm pushing these resistor packs down now on the two-sided tape, and they're sticking on the tape, and now then the tape isn't sticking on the bike. I'm not. See, in this one I was going to bring and tie it right over like that. That is my game plan. But when I did the wiring on my Road Glide, I eliminated it. It had the CBs and all the other accessories that I didn't want or need. So I removed all that wiring, and then I soldered it up and tied it up and put it away and everything. And it was not a catastrophe, but it took a long time. And the early Road Glides had a lot of stuff that was underneath the fairing, so there was a lot of wires there, so it actually helped me clean it up a bit by doing that. So for those that remember the early Road Glides, that was an Evo Road Glide. So some people want the CB and all the communication stuff. Myself, I didn't want it. I was making a custom show bike, and I just needed the bare minimum. So just tying this down here. So far that has cleaned that up quite well. Bring this around and down. You want to remember, when you're putting tie wraps on wires, you don't want to have it where it's pulled so tight, because when you pull it so tight, and what I mean so tight is like so tight that the wire could pop out, you want to leave it a little bit, because at the end of the day, there's vibration, and the vibration can pull on the wires. So I've got this one here to clean up. This is for my battery tender, which I currently have plugged in. So actually I'll just undo it from here, and then I'll go underneath. Just as easy. Just as easy. And then I want to tie this one up the best I can. Kind of do the same principle thing on this side. You want to also not only make it presentable, but also accessible if you ever need to get at it. If you're ever on the road and you gotta fix it or repair it or whatever the case may be, you want to be able to get to it without doing too much rigmarole or disassembly of things to get at it. There we go. I think that has cleaned it up quite a bit. Just wondering if this one I should have maybe gone underneath this tie wrap. I can do that by undoing the plug. We'll take this one right off here for a second. And you're cutting tie wraps too, you want to make sure you don't get too close to the wire. I'm going to run that one underneath, and then I'll plug it in over top. And then now I will tie wrap it together. Like I say, it's not fun work, it's not hard work, patience, and just tedious work. A lot of wires now are made of aluminum wire, very thin wire. Frustration does occur, but better to be patient less frustration. It will pay off. It's, you know, there are times where it's very tough to be patient. I can be the first one to attest to that. My good friend goes by the nickname ATM. He has witnessed me in the old bikes, the old road glides, so frustrated with installing the fairings, where I got frustrated, where I would kind of give the fairing a little bit of a toss just to give myself a break. But nonetheless, so we've got that all cleaned up underneath there now. I'm just gonna slide the seat itself actually on. Look underneath. Just taking out the thumb plug here on the back of the seat. Don't feel anything hitting. Just poke my head up. I think that's exactly where we want it. I'll actually bolt it in and then we will test it out just to confirm. I kind of like going to the thumb screw that's in the rear seat. So even that, if you're on the side of the road, you can pull it off and fix it. So that's on there. I like that. I'm gonna come over and grab the camera with the stand there. Like I said, it's wasn't interesting at all today, but had to be done, something that was on the list of things to do. So here's our knurled, sorry, I don't know if I can get in there, we'll go this route. The knurled rear thumb screw. The seat is in place. I'm used to a Battleander seat, but I don't mind this seat. I think it looks good. If you guys remember the original tour pack that I bought that I thought was gonna work, which doesn't, it was the same design, but this is a brand new tour pack back rest, so the other half will be comfortable. So that's on there. So I'm just gonna undo this and then we'll do just a little touch on a little review, I guess, of what we did. So I'm going to remove the seat. So the seat has the notch, sorry, tough, right there. And that's where we hid that stuff right here. So the little slot in the seat right there, I could technically stick my fingers through there, and that would be where the OEM rider's backrest comes through, and the bracket would be down here. So I'm happy. I'm just gonna set this seat aside before I scratch anything. We're getting rid of a few things in the garage here since the nice weather's coming, but still got quite a bit to, and now I'm just gonna put the thumb screw knurl back in place. So as you can see, I am happy with the outcome on there. Kept it clean and tidy. I can get to all the plugs. So that makes me feel good. If you guys remember, the OEM harness went through the right side of the bike. So I had to make a hole on the left side. That's because the wires for my license plate light came out the left side. So instead of trying to reroute it over, and then obviously my tail lights, So I'm happy with this. I'm glad that part is done, and it makes me feel good. Like I say, I don't have much more to do now. I gotta do the oils yet, and then everything else is going to be handlebar, fairing, radio hookup is basically next. I still got to take this crash bar off. Not a big deal. I've got to paint my fairing bracket yet, so that will be coming. But besides that, we're getting there slowly, but we're getting there. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Again, wiring, it's not the funnest, and it's not the painfulest, meaning like hurting you, but it is pretty painful for patients and just taking your time. And this went a lot smoother than I thought. I thought I was going to have to reroute things, move things, change things, make sure it fit underneath the seat, but I'm happy with the outcome. So thanks a lot for tuning in today, and we will see you next time. Thanks.